Hello, in this video, I'm going to go over the 5 types of journals that you need in your life. So whether or not you are a hardcore journaler or whether you're a beginner, you're going to benefit from all of these journals, and you might even already do some of them. I just wanted to take the top 5 that I think are the most important and explain why you need them in your life. So the first one that tops this list is gratitude journal. So this is one that you've probably heard about before, and this is a special version of a journal it's not just a regular diary type journal. This is a specific journal where you are trying to focus on things that you're gratitude or that you're grateful for. So what these usually are journal prompts. And there's a reason for that because let's say you write down and you get to an open page in your book and you're just looking at a blank page and you're trying to think of everything you're grateful for. That might work, and that is a way to do it if you want to challenge yourself to come up with a list. But most of the time, gratitude works better when you are given journal prompts. So there'll be questions that will be asking you certain things that will get you to change your mindset and to change your perspective. So, like one example would be name a person in your life that you need to appreciate more because of all the things they do for you. And then you're going to think, okay, there's that person that does all this stuff for me. Yeah, maybe I should probably, appreciate them a little better. So, what gratitude journaling does is it helps you to become more aware of the things in your life that you have. And in turn, when you are grateful for things, that will help raise your vibration. That will help you to manifest easier, which is something else I'm going to talk about later on in this video, and that kind of ties in with gratitude. So I have a couple of gratitude journals available. One of them is a paperback version, so you can get that on Amazon. And the other version is it's the same pages, it's just printables. So whether or not you prefer a paperback version of a book or printable version, these both have the same. They actually both have 2 different types of pages. There's one page that will give you a journal prompt, and then the whole page will be blank lines to fill out your answer. And then it also gives you a little perspective meter so you can track how you're feeling that day. So that is, and then I think there's also a extra page just for writing in something that whatever you feel like writing. So those are the gratitude journals. Now we're going to move on to the second type of journal, and that is the brain dump journal. So why is the brain dump journal so important? Because this is the kind of journaling that you do at the end of the day when you want to clear your mind, when you want to clear your brain of all the craziness that's going on in there. So that will be feelings, that will be emotions, that will be events that happened. It will be anything at all that's on the top of your mind. So that can also include even your to-do list for the next day. And the reason why getting all this stuff out of your mind before bed is good because helps it helps your mind, free itself from all of the chatter. So you probably noticed that a reason why you can't fall asleep sometimes is because so many thoughts are running through your head. And so it's such a great therapeutic thing to write it all down before bed. So the way that people do that, where it's actually beneficial, is to just use a blank piece of paper or well, lined piece of paper. What it needs to be is something that does not have journal prompts. Well, you can have journal prompts. There are some versions that do, and I guess I can talk about the one that I was going to show you is the one that I have available is it's called nighttime journal pages because this is the best time to do it. So one page is journal prompts and the other page is the brain dump. So you'll notice that the one that's got the journal prompts it, it's going to kind of guide you through the things that you should write down every day, like something good that happened, something bad that happened, what you're happy about, what you're thankful for, and those sorts of things, because you might not always think to write them down, but it's good to write them down. And then the other page is all blank, so you can do your brain dump. All right, so the next one is a therapeutic journal. So this is probably the one that what you think of when you think of journaling. This is usually where, you're gonna write down anything that's bothering you. And this kind of goes a few steps further than just the brain dump, because the therapeutic journaling is meant to help you overcome a mental issue. It can help you overcome trauma. It can help you learn about yourself and dive deep into your psyche, and it can help you learn about your higher self. So there's a couple different versions of this kind of thing out there, and I've got a couple available here, and I'm just going to go through these quick. There's the mental health workbook. So mental health is what you usually think of when you think of therapeutic, because most people do have some type of mental illness or mental um, it's not really illness, really. It's more of just, mild depression, mild anxiety, things like that. So that's what the mental health workbook can help you with. And then there's also self-care. So my mind, body, and soul self-care journal is the kind of therapeutic that you can do every day. It's more of a way to build your lifestyle around the routines of therapeutic self-care. And then there's a stress relief workbook, and that is very therapeutic because there's things in that workbook. They're kind of like activity sheets. So there are some self-care ideas in there. There's some coloring workbook or coloring pages. There are some journal prompts, and there's some activity pages for your favorite things. So anything that's considered stress relief as far as that goes, that's therapeutic. And then I've also got some trauma healing worksheets. Now, those are part of my mental health workbook, but I also sell them separately because a lot of people are just trying to heal their trauma. And so those worksheets will help you figure out a plan to get rid of that trauma. And then there's also some journal pages for dream journal. That's something that, like I mentioned, journaling to get down to the bottom of your subconscious is very therapeutic. So like every day when you wake up in the morning, you probably already know the dreams that you just had. You probably still have them on your mind, and that's the best time to write them down. So if you do that every day and you keep track of them and you kind of focus on the feelings that they brought up for you and then notice patterns over time, that is how you can learn how to get to know your subconscious, and that's very therapeutic. So now I'm going to move on to the next type of journal, and that is the manifestation journal. I did kind of mention this a little bit earlier because gratitude journaling and manifestation journaling are very similar in that they both help you become more aware of things that you have in your life that you're thankful for, and that helps the manifestation process. A lot of people don't realize that. They think that manifestation is just thinking about what you want, staying positive, and it'll just appear in your life. But it's so much more in depth than that. And I have some manifestation journals that can walk you through that process. So there's one that asks you questions. It's got a bunch of journal prompts and activities. And then there's the Law of Attraction Planner. These are both very similar, but the Law of Attraction Planner one has more activity sheets, and the Manifestation Journal is more of a journal type thing where you're more answering questions and you're really getting down to the nitty-gritty when it comes to manifesting. So I'm going to move on to the next one now, and that is the bullet journal. You probably have heard of this because this is very popular. So the bullet journal was invented by a man named Ryder Carroll, and he sells. It's a copyrighted bullet journal. Bullet journal is actually his brand name, but it's just become the word that people use to describe this type of journal. So it's usually done in a hardcover book that has the dot grid, which is the background of this image is dot grid. That's what that is. And the reason for that is because the bullet journals are designed for you to be creative and for you to have freedom on the page with where you want to align your words, your pictures, your designs, your boxes, and everything that goes into a journal. So there's a picture on the right here that you can see. There's a mood tracker, and mood trackers are a very popular page in the bullet journal, but they are not the only one. There's lots of different page spreads that come in the bullet journal. So in Ryder Carroll's version, there are specific things that you write down, like there's an index and then there's little codes, little symbols that specify what each item is. So if it's an item that has to be done, it's like a little dot. And if it's an item that you've finished, it's like an X over the dot. And then there's a little arrow for when you want to move that item to another day. So really what the bullet journal is it's a half planner, half journal. It's called journal, but it's really more of a planner, honestly, because well, you are tracking things, you can track things, but you're also planning, and it helps you schedule everything all in one book. And so the reason why bullet journals are so amazing and why they are on this list is because they are a, a journal planner hybrid, and they're so popular. And I've actually got about 5 of them, and you can use one for a different thing. So let's say like you have a business, you want to have a business bullet journal. And then let's say you want to have one just for your daily schedule, for your appointments, for your whatever you want to get done, for your chores and things like that. You can have one for that. And then you can also have a bullet journal that's just for maybe education. So let's say you're taking a lot of courses, you're in school, and you wanted to write down all the things that you're learning and organize them in the way that you want. That's why bullet journals are so great, and that's why they come blank, because you have the freedom. You can design them in any way you want. There's no limits when it comes to bullet journals. There's a set list of various layouts. So there's like calendars, there's the daily spread, weekly spread, monthly spread, there's even a year at a glance, and then there's mood trackers, and there's really whatever you want to put in there. The sky is the limit. So there are a lot of printable bullet journals on Etsy, and I kind of got myself into that too a little bit here. I've got some bullet journal pages. And now you might be thinking, why would there be printable bullet journal pages when you're supposed to buy the book? Well, there's a lot of people that don't want to have a hardcover book. They want to have loose pages so that they can put them in a binder, or so maybe they can fold them in half and staple them and make whatever size they want. And they also might not know what they want to put in a bullet journal. So if you see the pictures here, these are templates. They are different things that, I mean, there's unlimited ways that you could make these, but when you're beginning, you might not know what to do. You might not have any ideas. I mean, not everybody is artistic. Not everybody has all these ideas for how they want to do it. So if you're not artistic and you want to print out some pages that are pre-made, then they are perfect for the beginner, or they are also perfect for someone that doesn't want a hardcover. And honestly, I actually like the printable ones better, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel this way about all hardcover books. If I'm buying a journal and it's a hardcover, it better be a spiral bound because I can't stand having a journal that I'm trying to write in that doesn't stay open. It's one of my pet peeves. So this is why I love the printable ones, because I can put them in a 3-ring binder myself, and I can fold them all the way back, and I don't have to push down on the spine. The spine doesn't get bent, and it's just great all around. You have a lot more freedom, and so that's why I love printable bullet journal pages. And there's a huge market for these on Etsy as well. So you can choose how you want to do it. If you want to go out and buy the actual bullet journal, the the one that came the original. So I think that's bulletjournal.com. I think that's the website if you wanted to order a real original one. And you can get them in different colors too, so that's kind of fun, I guess. But I found that I don't like them because they're hard to stay open. And I'm just a really big fan of binders. I'm really a big fan of putting things together myself. And there's another reason for this too, because when you use up your pages, you can take them out and throw them away, or even save them if you want, but then you can put new ones in. And that's the beauty of the printable ones, because you can reprint the same thing without having to buy it again. And then you can just always have a fresh copy whenever you need one. So that is the bullet journal pages. And this concludes my video on the 5 types of journals that you need in your life. I really hope you got some benefit out of this, and more than anything, I hope you got some inspiration, and I hope you got some motivation to start journaling. So if you enjoyed this video, share it with your friends that love to journal and give it a like and be sure to subscribe for more journaling videos. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.